Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda, and I'm the Migraine Crafting Diva. And on this channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. In today's video is going to be 20 of my favorite Christmas DIYs. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I hope you enjoy, and thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Doing a Christmas DIY, and I just love the way that this turned out. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So here I am showing you a ceiling fan light fixture that I picked up from the Repurpose Project store. I think I paid about $1 for it. And I have an expiration pick that I'm going to show you from Target. And here it is here, these little bells. They were $69.99 at Target. And I wanted to do a dupe of them. And although I ended up turning my dupe into my own, I still love the way that they turned out, and I can't wait for you to see what I am about to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to go ahead and tape off the sections that we're going to paint. And I'm going to use the Apple Barrel Forest Green paint for the bottom of one of the bells and the top of the other bell. So here I'm just showing you what it looks like after I take the paint off and see the line. Look how pretty that green is. It is so gorgeous. And it took about 5 coats of the green paint. And after I did the green, I went ahead and I started with the red. And I started off with the crimson red, and I actually ended up not liking it. I thought it was a little too orange. So then I switched from the crimson red to the red apple paint from Apple Barrel, and I actually did not like that either. So I took it outside and I sanded everything off, and then I came back and I repainted it with the bright red, which I ended up liking. So once I did that, I went ahead and I painted the bottom of the one that was going to be red and white, and then I went ahead and painted the top of the other so that would be red and green. And then once that was done, I went ahead and I took some white chalk paint, the Waverly white chalk paint, which I actually did not like either. So then I ended up using the Apple Barrel Snow White paint for the white part of the other 2 bells. So one of the top ones, I did the Snow White, and the bottom one I did the Snow White. And look at how cute that is with the red and the green. It is so pretty. I can't wait for you guys to see this. This is both of the DIYs in this video. They're both my favorite. They're my top 10 of DIYs that I've done so far. So here I am just painting the bottom with the white chalk paint, which the Folk Art white chalk paint, excuse me. And like I said, I did not like it, so I ended up wiping that off also and going with the Apple Barrel Snow White paint. And you'll see that coming up here pretty soon. And then once I was done with that, my painting was done. And then I took some of the black Apple Barrel paint, and I just went around the bottom of the bell, around the edges with just the black paint to copy the dupe. And because the dupe had the black at the bottom, and then it had the black at the top for the hooks. So here I have the Rust-Oleum semi-gloss paint. So I'm actually using 3 of the curtain hooks, and I have 3 of the lug nuts that actually came off of the ceiling fan. I mean the ceiling fan light. So I went ahead and painted both of those, and now I'm going to add those back with some E6000 and some hot glue to I'm going to add the hooks back with the black, the E6000 and hot glue, excuse me. And then once that is done, I will be almost done with this project. So once I have the washers glued to the top of the bales, I'm going to take the curtain hangers or hooks, and I'm going to, the little part that you clamp the curtains on, that you attach to the curtains, I'm going to add some twine to that so that it'll be easier for me to be able to tie the bale. So here I am attaching, I'm using a piece of paper, actually a piece of Starburst candy wrapper to add the E6000 to the curtain hook to be able to apply that. And here I am just pulling it down using the twine that I attached. So I'll show you that in a little bit here. And then once I have them all done, I'll go ahead and start attaching the bells to the oh no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. So what I attempted to do was I took the Apple Barrel white, the Snow White paint, and I took the washer because it looked like the shape that it had on the dupe that I'm doing, to figure out if I could do it or not. So I was using a washer, but I actually did not like it because it has that hammered effect, and I didn't think that it looked right. So I just ended up just wiping that off and then not doing that part of it to give the hammered effect, but I still think it turned out nice. So here I am now. I'm going ahead and I'm adding the jingle bells there. We can see those. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tie that on. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and I was going to add the twine at the top to hang them, but I actually did not like that. So I actually ended up getting some ribbon. I believe I purchased this ribbon from Dollar General, or it may have been Joann's, but I'm not sure. So I ended up attaching the ribbon to the top to hang the bells. So that'll be coming up pretty soon here. And what I did was, because I wanted the ribbon to have the print on both sides, I ended up gluing it together. And then once I did that, I went ahead and attached it. So here it is here. Yeah, I believe I got that ribbon from Joann's, but I'm not really sure. But I used it all, and that was my last roll. So I'm gonna probably have to see if I can find some more. And that is it for DIY number 1. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. I am just so happy with the way that these turned out. And as soon as I saw the ceiling fan lights when I walked into the repurpose project, I just knew exactly what I was going to do with them. So let me know what you think. And then we will be moving on to DIY number 2. So we're moving on to DIY number 2, and here I am showing you that I'm using the Snow White paint and the 4th of the ceiling lights. And originally I had planned on making this a snowman, and I went back to my craft room and I was looking for something, and I ended up finding some stickers that I wanted to use. So this DIY took a completely different turn within less than 5 minutes. So here I am taking some of the hot glue, and I'm spreading it all around the bottom of the bell, attempting to make some tree branches. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to take the Waverly truffle paint and also the Apple Barrel chocolate paint. And I'm going to go ahead and start to paint the faux tree branches. And then once I have that complete, because I thought the top of it looked a little too white, I went ahead and de-stressed it a little bit with a mixture of both of those paints, the chocolate and the truffle. And then once that was done and it was dry, I took some of the Apple Barrel Territorial Beige and some of the Folk Art Antique Gold and metallic paint, and I went ahead and added that. And I also added just a tiny bit of the forest green paint, or Christmas green is what I should say, not forest green. And then I let that dry. And then once it was completely dry, I went ahead and I added my stickers. And these are stickers that you use for scrapbooking. And I've had these stickers for probably over 15 years. My sister-in-law gave these to me as a Christmas gift 1 year for Christmas. So I've had them for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those stickers to the bell once it's complete. So before I do that, I also took a cup holder that I purchased from Hobby Lobby during the 90% off sale back in the summertime. I think I paid like 50 cents for it. So I'm also going to go ahead and paint that with the chocolate paint and chocolate and truffle paint, and also the Territorial Beige in the antique gold, so that it matches the bell. And then here I am doing that. And then once everything is dry and complete, I'll go ahead and add those stickers. So you'll see me doing that here shortly. And then once that is complete and everything is dry, and I also want to say that I did go back and give all of the bells a clear coat with the matte spray paint sealant, just so that the paint would not come off. So, but back to this. So once I did that, I took some Mod Podge and I put the Mod Podge on the bottom of the bell where you see my faux leaves, and at the top. And then I went ahead and I added some gold glitter because I couldn't find my white glitter, and I added some fake snow. So here I am going back and I'm just showing you what I'm adding here. I'm going to add a cardinal because I love cardinals and they remind me of my mom. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the other bird on top of the cardinal. So it looks like they're attached, like they're on the same limb. And this DIY came out so nice. I just absolutely love it. I already have it already out in my living room on my shelf decorated. And like I said, these two DIYs are my favorite DIYs that I've done so far. So here I'm adding the second bird. And then once I have that complete, you'll see me go ahead and add in the Mod Podge with the glitter and the fake snow. And then once that is complete, I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out if I'm going to look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love it. And I could have just stopped right there, but no, I forgot to say that I added the snowflakes also. So I did add snowflakes, but yeah, I could have stopped there, but I just had to add the fake snow and the glitter because, you know, it's winter. So here I am trying to decide what I want to put on top. So I'm trying the stems from Dollar Tree and a couple of knobs. So I ended up using this knob here. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of the hot glue and attach that. And then I believe I'm going to go ahead and, oh no, I'm not going to do that first. So now I'm adding the Mod Podge and the glitter. So the gold glitter is what I'm going to add with the fake snow here. So I'll let you go ahead and watch what I'm doing, and then I'll come back shortly. I've added everything, I'm also going to add a tea light to this DIY also. So you'll see that coming up shortly here. And it gives off just a little bit of glow at the bottom and at the top through the little holes. And like I said, and I know I've said this probably several times, but I absolutely love the way these DIYs turned out. These are my absolute favorite DIYs. So yeah, let me know what you think. And that is it for these DIYs. I really hope you enjoyed them because I really truly did. So I would just like to thank you for spending the day with me. And I hope if you do like what I am doing, if you would like, share, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And please, like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye. Go ahead and get started with today's video. So for DIY number one, I'm going to use this wooden house that I received a couple of years ago for my birthday. And I also went online and found a free printable for Christmas Advent calendar scripture cards. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those out into the little individual cards. And now what I'll be doing is I'll be placing those into the drawers on the house. So the wooden Christmas house has 24 drawers. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to use the Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole house with the Waverly Antique Wax. And once I've covered it, I'm going to take some of the white folk art paint, and then I'm going to take some of the Waverly Cashew, and I'm going to just do like a light brushing of both onto like a dry brush kind of sort of onto the house and onto the drawers. And I'll just do, I'm going to mix both colors up, and then I'll just dry brush it until I get the desired effect that I would like to have. And then once I've done that and the paint and the wax is completely dry, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start adding the scripture cards into the drawers onto the house. And then once I've done that, then this DIY basically will be complete. And I just think that using the scripture cards is a good way for family members and young kids to be able to learn the true meaning of Christmas. And yeah, I actually really do like this DIY. And what I'm thinking that I may end up doing also is, once Christmas is over, I may just cover up the Christmas part of it and still continue to use the house and put my daily Bible verses in it, so that when I wake up in the morning, I can just pull one out and read it. But yes, this is basically it for this DIY. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And if you're able to find one of these, I would suggest getting one. I believe this was purchased either at Michael's or Joann's. But yes, and it also has a light in it. So once I have everything complete and it's completely dry and I have the cards in, I'll turn the light on and I'll turn the lights out so that you can see what it looks like. And it's simple, but I absolutely just love the way that it turned out. So let me know what you think. And I would just like to note that if you do happen to find one of these, just be careful when you're moving it around because the drawers easily fall out, as you can see here. Yes, yeah. And I also had to take each drawer out individually to put the antique wax on it. So I just wanted to remind you of that. And like I said, again, that is it for this DIY. And I absolutely love the way that it turned out. Okay, so on to DIY number 2. I am using this coaster, and then I have the Bible verse printed out on a napkin that I had intention to use, but it did not come out like I wanted it to, and it kind of just blended in with the napkin. So what I ended up doing was taking some of the white faux leather from Dollar Tree, and I taped it onto a piece of printer paper, and then I printed out the Bible verse for I know the plans I have for you, Jeremiah 29:11. And it actually printed out, which was great. It was a happy accident, and I'm happy that it actually worked out because now I know that I can use my printer to print out to print on the faux leather if I don't want to pull my Cricut out. So here I am using some of the Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just gonna give it a good nice coat before to be able to adhere the faux leather onto the coaster. And then once I have it adhered and it's completely dried, I'm going to go ahead and take some of the black folk art paint, and I'm also going to go ahead and drill a hole into the top of the coaster because I'm going to turn this into an ornament. And I'm taking the black folk art paint, excuse me, I can't talk today. And I'm just going to go around the edges of the leather just to give it a little bit of definition. And as I was doing that, I kind of slipped up and messed up a little bit. So I took a wet paper towel to try and wipe it off, and it just made a bigger mess. But then I actually ended up liking the way that the black kind of soaked into the creases of the leather and gave it a little bit of definition and shadow. So I just went back around and added the black paint again and just kind of smeared it around just to give it a little bit more definition. And then once I did that, I took a piece of ribbon that I purchased from Joann's, and I have a smaller roll of that ribbon, but I just could not find it. So what I ended up doing was taking the ribbon and I cut it in half, and then I folded it to make one piece, as you can see here. And I left the edges frayed because I kind of like the rusted look of it. And then I made a shoestring bow. So once I stuck the ribbon into the hole and got it to the length that I wanted to make it have like 2 loops instead of 1. So what I'm doing here is creating the first loop, and then I'm going to put the bow where I created the first loop because I didn't want the bow to be at the bottom of the ornament. I wanted it to be a little bit higher to yeah, look how cute that is. And then I'm going to go ahead and then make the second loop, which is what I'll use to be able to hang the ornament onto the tree. And This is like a rustic bow, and I mean not bow. This is a rustic Christmas ornament, and I really love the way that it turned out. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite DIYs that I've done. But look at it. Look how cute that is. So we're on to our last and final DIY number 3. And I am going to take one of these wooden blackboard houses that I purchased in Craftin' Diva. And if you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. And please remember to always be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye. Tower blocks and the wall tile that they have. And also I will be using some of the Dollar Tree wood glue. And what I'll be doing is I'll take 2 of the tumbling blocks and I'm going to glue them on top of one another with some of the Dollar Tree wood glue and some of the hot glue. And once I have those 2 glued together, I will take 8 more of the tumbling blocks, and then I will go ahead and do the same thing. And then I will go ahead and attach the 5 sets of tumbling blocks together to create one row. So each row will have 5 sets of tumbling blocks attached. And then once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and cut off of the tip of one of the tumbling blocks to create a triangle, because I'm going to attach all 3 sets of the tumbling blocks. So you should have 3 sets of tumbling blocks that have that were made by 5 blocks stacked on top of each other, a piece. And then once that's done, I'm going to take the wall towel and I'm going to cut that out into the shape of a triangle. And I hope that I'm explaining this right, but you guys can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm also going to take 2 of the popsicle sticks and I'm going to place those onto the bottom of my triangle just to make sure that it's sturdy and that it'll make sure that it stands up. And then once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue, or I'm going to attach my tile to the one side of my triangle. And if you can see that I also painted the sides of the tumbling blocks white, and those will be the sides that you'll be able to see that that's not covered. So here I am attaching the towel to the tumbling blocks, and I just want to note that I had to reattach the towel to the backing because the towels are only attached on the outside of the with the paper, so they're not completely attached. So when I cut them, started to pull off. So I went ahead and just hot glued it and used my glue stick to stick it back together. So here I am using my hot glue gun, attaching the front side of the tile to the tumbling blocks. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm making a Christmas tree. And so once I have the first side attached, and after the glue has completely dried, I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach another wall tile to the other side of the tumbling blocks. And that way both sides will be completely covered. And then once that is done, I decided I did not like seeing the white paint on the sides. So I took some of the leftover wall tile and I placed the tree onto the towel, and I traced out the size that I needed to cut out, and then I went ahead and I adhered it to the side of my Christmas tree with some hot glue. And you can see here what I'm doing, and I'm going to go ahead and do both sides the same way. And then once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and take some blue ribbon, and I'm going to just make a little a little tiny shoestring bow just to attach to the top of the tree. And once that is done, this DIY is complete. So let me know what you think. I actually really like the way that this turned out, and I hope you do too. Let me know. So moving on to DIY. So for DIY, number one, I have this candle holder that I purchased from the thrift store probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was actually going to get rid of it because I didn't like the color of it. I didn't like the cream and the gold. I paid $2.99 for it, but I believe I actually got 50% off of it, so I think I paid $1.50 for it. So what I decided to do is just take some Rust-Oleum flat black paint with primer, and I'm just going to go ahead and give it 3 coats. And then once I have that done, then I'll go ahead and also give it a clear coat of the Rust-Oleum clear coat. So this candle holder has Jesus in a manger, Mary and Joseph, the 3 wise men, an angel, and some farm animals on it. But so here I am just spray painting it all black. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add a candle to it, and that is going to be it for this DIY. And just spray painting it the flat black just made it look so much better. So yeah, I can't wait to use this for Christmas. Let me know what you think. And this is the finished product after 3 coats of the flat black paint and the clear coat. And here I'm just adding a candle, and I absolutely love it. Look at it, it is so cute. And we are moving on to our last and final DIY number 4. Here I have this like coat hook. I think it's like a coat hook, excuse me. And I purchased it from Dollar General probably a year or a year and a half ago. It was on clearance. It was 90% off. I think I ended up paying like $1.50 for it. One of the hooks was already coming off. It only had like 1 screw in it. So here I'm just taking the other screws off and taking the hooks off. And then once I have that done, I took 2 more stencils from the stencil pack that I have. Here I'm just trying to make sure that I have space and how I'm going to put the stencils on. So here I am just trying to figure out how I'm going to use the stencils. So this side I'm going to put Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and then the other side I'm going to put the 3 wise men. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out proper placement. And then once I have it like I want it, I'm going to go ahead and tape the stencils down, and then I'll go ahead and use the same technique. And on this one I went a little too heavy with the paint. I actually did this one before I did the nativity scene on the fabric, and I it went a little too heavy, but I think it still came out nice. So here I'm just going to tape down my stencils, and then I'm going to go ahead and start using the black paint, the black Krylon chalk paint to I'll go ahead and start dabbing that onto the coat hook or coat hanger. And I just want to say that if you're going to use stencils, make sure that when you're using them that you try and have them as flat and as tight as possible, so that it'll prevent as much bleed through as possible. So that's how I like to do my stencils. I try and make them as tight as possible so that I don't have a lot of bleed through. And I like to use a light amount of paint, but for some reason I just kind of went a little overboard on this one. But like I said earlier, it still turned out fine. So yeah, let me know what you think. So here I'm just dabbing the black chalk paint onto the stencil, and I'm going to use my hair dryer to just dry it just a little bit after it's after I'm done using the paint on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw the hooks back onto it, and I'm going to give it I'm also going to spray it with the Krylon, the clear Krylon, so that it stays on the board. Now I did get some paint in one of the areas on the board, and I just took some sanding block, excuse me, and then sanded it, and I sanded it right off, and it came off no issues. And I would just like to say, what better way to kick off Christmas in July with a celebration of Jesus and with using the nativity scene. And I absolutely love all of these DIYs. They are all my favorite, and I cannot wait to be able to display these DIYs in my home for Christmas. In the comments, let me know which one is your favorite. So here I am just putting the hooks back onto the board, and see there's a little black spot there, so I'm just going to take the sanding block and just sand that off. And that is going to be it for this video. So if you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for continuing to watch my channel. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed Sunday. And I will see you next week. Goodbye. what I can do with these transfers. So we're going to go ahead and get started with DIY number one. So for DIY number one, I have my coasters, and then I'm also going to use my IOD transfer book that I received last year for my birthday. And I'm going to cut out some of the birds and some of the greenery, and I am going to apply them to the coasters. And I'm sure you probably already guessed that, because coasters are like one of my favorite things to make. So here I'm just trying to decide which birds and what greenery I'm going to use on the coasters. And then once I have that figured out, I'll go ahead and start transferring everything. And once I have it all transferred, I will varnish it, excuse me, and then go over it with 2 coats of Mod Podge. And that is going to be it for this DIY. Really quick, easy, and simple. I was trying to get a couple of easy videos out so that I could, because I was going to be on vacation in July for 2 weeks, and I wanted to go ahead and have all of my videos taped through August so that I could enjoy my vacation a little bit. So, but yeah, so I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you like my coasters. Let me know what you think. So here I am doing the last coaster, and varnishing it like I said. And I'm going to go ahead and add the Mod Podge, and look at how good they turned out. Look at how good they look. Oh my gosh, I just love them. I also went back and I added some of the little foam things to go on the bottom of them so that they wouldn't scratch up your table. But look at how good they look. I love them. I absolutely love them. Can't wait to use them. We're going to go ahead and get started with this DIY. And this is one of my favorite DIYs. I am so happy that I did this and it turned out so nice, and I can't wait for you to see it. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this DIY, I will be using a trash can from Walmart, 2 pool noodles from the Dollar Tree. I also have some Rust-Oleum apple red gloss paint, and I also have some white paint from Lowe's that I ended up not using. So what I'm going to do first is take the trash can and I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it with the apple red Rust-Oleum paint. And then I'm also going to take the pool noodle outside and just give it one light coat of the Rust-Oleum red paint also, so that it matches the trash can a little bit better. And then once I've let it sit and dry, I'm going to bring it back inside, and then I'm going to take a window cling that I purchased from Walmart a couple of years ago, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach that with some Mod Podge to the trash can. And so as you can see here, I'm adding the Mod Podge to the back of the window cling, and I'm adding it to the trash can. And once I've finished adding the large Let It Snow with the 2 snowman window cling onto the trash can, I then start to embellish it by adding the smaller snowflakes, the window cling snowflakes to the trash can by adding Mod Podge to the back of those, and then just applying them randomly onto the trash can. And you can see here what I'm doing. And I would just like to say that if you end up doing this project, get something to hold your trash can still. As you can see, as I'm trying to stick the window clings onto the trash can, it keeps rolling back and forth. So yeah, if you're gonna do this project, yeah, just put something next to your trash can. I put something small on the side of the trash can and it didn't help at all. So yeah, for sure, make sure you use something to keep it still. And now that I have all of my stickers placed onto my trash can, or now should I say my cup, now I'm going to go ahead and add the handle. So I'm going to use some magnets from the Dollar Tree and one of the red pool noodles. And as you can see here, I'm just showing you what I use to attach the magnets to the pool noodle. So what I did was I took one of the Dollar Tree magnets and a piece of the pool noodle, and I cut some of the inside of the pool noodle out, and then I used the Mitre Appel glue to glue the magnet into the pool noodle on both ends, so that I would have a solid surface to be able to stick the pool noodle to the side of the trash can to make the trash can look like a cup, to have the pool noodle look like the handle of the cup. So after I glued the magnets to the pool noodle, I stuck them on the side of my couch and my table, and I bent them just so that it would give a little bit of curl, so that it would be easier for me to attach it to the cup when I bend it, so it wouldn't come off. So once I did that, I let it sit for 24 hours, and I noticed that the glue wasn't sticking well, I noticed that the pool noodle was coming off of the trash can. So I ended up taking some of the Dollar Tree red vinyl, and it actually matched the paint color perfectly. So I went ahead and just wrapped that around the edges where the pool noodle touched the cup. So I ended up wrapping it around that to kind of to reinforce it. And I also added some hot glue and some E6000. And as you can see here, this is me using just the Mitria Pill glue with the accelerator. But yes, so here I am showing you that I'm adding the red vinyl from Dollar Tree to the cup to help to make sure that it stays attached to the trash can to give it the cup look. And once I finished that, I just added some faux plants, and I added a white pool noodle as a straw and a candy cane, just to give you guys just a look of how you can decorate it. I actually don't plan on using it this way. I actually have, and I'll take a picture and I'll insert it. I have 2 trash cans that I use as planters outside my house, and so my plan is to take the shepherd's hook and the solar light that I have hanging outside my house and to add those to these cups, and then I'll cut the pool noodle. I'll cut a line in the back of it and attach that to the shepherd's hook so that it gives a straw look, and then I'll wrap some tape around it so that it actually looks like a straw. And I'll just insert I'll insert a picture of what I have out there now, and I'm just going to just take like I said, take the shepherd's hook and the solar light out, just to give it a little bit of pop of color, because I usually just go with white lights and black and white in the front of my house. So the red will actually give it a little bit of a pop of a color. So, and that is it for this DIY. I hope you enjoyed it. It is one of my favorites, and I would like to thank you for watching this video today. And if you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye. Okay, so we're going to use this black chalk paint by Folk Art, and we have this board here that we're going to use, and this board actually used to be a wine holder. So what I did was I went ahead and just removed the metal piece that holds the wine bottles, and then I went ahead and patched the holes with some wood filler and sanded them down. And then, well, and now I'm going ahead and just painted it all black with the paint, and then I'll use my heat gun to dry the black paint so that the process will go a little bit faster. Then I decided that I probably should use the Krylon chalkboard paint, only because I had more, and I had to do 4 coats of black paint on this piece of wood. So here I am just going over the sign one last time with the 4th coat of black chalk paint, just to make sure that I have full coverage and that I don't have any bleed through. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this sign here that I purchased from Aldi's and from their clearance aisle. It was $1.25. I'm going to go ahead and also paint it black using the Krylon chalk paint, and I will be using this little sign for my my second DIY, but since I'm already using the black chalk paint, it was just easier to go ahead and paint them both at the same time. I'm just using the heat gun again to speed up the drying process of the paint, and I also used 4 coats of black Krylon paint on that little wooden box also. So my next step for my first DIY is to get the scrapbooking paper in order of how I want to use it for my project. And here I am just showing you the different scrapbooking papers that I already have. Some of them I did get from Hobby Lobby, and the ones that I got from Hobby Lobby, I'm showing you the price. And the other ones came out of a scrapbook that I purchased from, I believe, Joann's and maybe Hobby Lobby. I just have a couple different ones, and I just took pages out of the ones that I had. And I also and all those scrapbooking books were all on sale for like less than $5 on the after Christmas sale. So here I am just showing you the different again, the different scrapbooking pieces of paper that I'm going to use and the prices. And now I am lining up my stencil for my little Christmas tree that I'm going to make using the scrapbooking paper. And the first stencil is a triangle. Comment in the comment section what your favorite Christmas movie is. My favorite Christmas movie is a Christmas Story, and my second is Die Hard. And I am a person who enjoys watching Christmas movies throughout the year. Now that we have all of our pieces cut out to make our Christmas tree, we're going to go ahead and start to put it all together. So here you can see that I am just placing the pieces of scrapbooking paper in the order and trying to size out how I want to put them on the board. And I'm also taking a piece of wood, I guess it's like a piece of like a limb that I purchased from Dollar Tree a couple years ago when they had the wood packs. So I'm taking a piece and adding that to the bottom of my tree, and I'm measuring out where to put it so that it's centered within my board. And then I'll go ahead and start to use the Mod Podge to attach the scrapbooking paper to the board. And I also use hot glue to attach the stem at the bottom of the board, and then I will start from the bottom and work my way up to the top to make it as even as possible, to make my tree as even as possible as I go up the board. I have used the Mod Podge to adhere the scrapbooking paper to my board, I am going to take a snowflake that I purchased from the Dollar Tree a couple of years ago, and I'm going to attach that to the top of my tree as my tree topper. And then I will take some more Mod Podge and I will use a generous amount to go ahead and coat the top of my Christmas tree. So my Christmas tree is finished now, and so we're on our final DIY for today, and what I'm showing you now is a glass plate that has a Christmas tree etched in it, and I purchased that at the Goodwill for $2.99. And I also have a base that I purchased from the Repurpose Project. And I'm not sure what the base is from. I think it may be from the bottom of a lamp, or it could be from a candlestick. I am not sure. But here I'm showing you that I'm going to take my 1-inch drill bit to make that hole bigger. Actually, my husband did that for me. He made the hole bigger and then he drilled random holes throughout the base for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint the base with a hazelnut paint, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some white wax on top of it. And then once I have finished painting it, I'm going to go ahead and you'll get to see what I'm going to do. It's a surprise. I have applied the white wax, and now I'm taking a damp cloth and then just wiping off some of the white wax to get the color that I want onto the base. So now that my base is done and the color is the way that I want it, and I absolutely love the way that it looks, I am going to go ahead and start to remove the felt from the bottom of the base, and I'm going to go ahead and add my surprise. And I'm sure most of you have already guessed what I'm going to do, but if you haven't, my surprise is going to be, I am going to add, you guessed it, fairy lights. I love fairy lights. We have fairy lights throughout our whole home. So I am going to go ahead and twist the fairy lights into a little circle to add to the top, and I'm going to take some I'm going to take some tape and attach the fairy lights to the inside of the base, and I will add just a little bit of hot glue on the tape just to make sure that it sticks and stays in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and wrap the lights around, and then just put the little bulbs into the holes that I have drilled into the base of into my base. And then I will go ahead and attach the plate to the top of my base. And this is one of my favorite projects. I just love the way that it turned out. Actually, I love the way that all of my projects turned out, and I just cannot wait to use these items for Christmas. I actually think I'm going to leave this tier tray out probably for the rest of the year, because it is just so nice, and I love the way that the light shines through. So now that the fairy lights are in place, I'm going to go ahead and cut a new piece of felt to add to the bottom of the stand, and that way I can go ahead and remove the felt when I need to change out the batteries and to be able to turn the lights on and off. So here I'm going to take some E6000 and I'm going to go ahead and put some around the top of my stand, and then I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to add that to the areas where I did not put the E6000, and then I will go ahead and place my plate on top of my stand. Number 2. So for DIY number 2, I have this wood round that I painted with some of the excuse me, I just went blank. So yes, I painted with the bright red apple barrel paint, and then I also took a lid off of a container that I had. And I've actually had this container for quite a few years now. I've purchased it at the Dollar General probably 4 or 5 years ago when it was on sale. And I actually never noticed that the container and the lid did not match. And they actually did not fit on it properly, which is why I went ahead and just used the lid for this DIY. So what I have here is I have some fairy lights from the Dollar Tree. Excuse me. And I went ahead and I drilled a hole into the back of the wood round, and now I'm going to take some of the red duct tape from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and just attach the fairy lights, or tape the fairy lights to the wood round. And then once I have the fairy lights taped to the wood round, I'm going to glue the battery pack to the back of the wood round and attach, and then go ahead and apply the wood round to the lid. That was my air freshener, again, squirting out air freshener. Sorry about that. So once I have that done, I'm going to take some ribbon from the Dollar Tree that has the little red trucks on it, and I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to just layer it into 2 pieces so that you can see the trucks on both sides, because it's just one-sided ribbon. And then I'm going to loop the ribbon into one another. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but it looks like my light just went out in this video. It got really dark. So here I am just looping the ribbon in between one another, and I'm just going to hot glue them. And then I'm going to hot glue the ribbon to the wood round. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I hope you like it. It is one of my favorites, and my husband also liked this DIY, but I told him that we could not keep it because these DIYs I made for one of my other sisters. So she's going to be doing a truck theme for Christmas at her house. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to our next DIY. But before we move on to our next DIY, I just wanted you to see it with the lights out and look at how cute that is. I just love it. I hope I am able to find another one of these lids so I can make one of these DIYs for my husband. Start off by taking this frame that I purchased from the thrift store for $2.50. I also have a printout of a picture of a vintage snowman, and I'm using a piece of scrapbooking paper from one of my scrapbooking books. I'm going to cut out the scrapbooking paper to the size of the frame, and the snowman will be cut a smaller size. I will then use a glue stick to apply the scrapbooking paper to the mat board, then glue the snowman on top of the scrapbooking paper, and then once that is done, I will take some of the Dollar Tree ribbon and then I will go ahead and cut that to frame out the snowman. Here I am taking my glue gun and using it to glue down the lace ribbon to frame out the snowman. And guys, just wait, I can't wait for you to see how this turned out. It turned out so nice. I just love it, and I have it sitting in my kitchen right now. And I know it's not Christmas, but it just came out so nice that I just couldn't put it away. We are now on to DIY number 2, and I am so excited. I just could not wait to try this transfer technique. I saw this on our Upcycle Life with Deidre, and it's called a reverse transfer technique, and you use Mod Podge. But first you have to take your item and you have to paint it first. So as you can see here, I have a sled that I purchased from Target Dollar Spot last year at the after Christmas sale, and I am using the folk art paint in black and in white. I did 3 coats of the black and I did 4 coats of the white, and then I used my heat gun to dry in between so that the process would go a little bit faster. Once my paint was completely dry, what I did was I took a picture and I cut it out to the correct size to fit the sled, and then I applied some of the matte Mod Podge onto it, and then I put it face down onto the sled. The picture that I use, of course, is from one of my favorite movies, like I said before in my last Christmas DIY video, A Christmas Story. And the picture that I picked was Randy from A Christmas Story, and it's when he's in his snowsuit, and I typed, "I can't put my arms down." And guys, just wait until you see this. I mean, I know I said the first DIY was good, but this one is even better. And Deirdre usually uses black and white, and I use color, so I wasn't expecting it to come out like it did, but I just can't wait for you guys to see the results. Here I am taking my picture and some matte Mod Podge, and I'm applying a thin layer over the picture. Once I've placed the Mod Podge onto the picture, I will then center it onto my sled. And then I'm going to take some saran wrap, and I have an old gift card that I'm just using to smooth out the paper. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and set it aside and let it dry for 24 hours. Once it's dry, you're ready to start the reverse transfer technique. You will start to gently rub the paper off. If you rub too much or too rough, you're going to rub off the picture. So you will just gently rub the paper off, and you will dampen the picture just a little bit with water, and just gently rub, and you're just going to be amazed at what happens. So here's the process. I hope you enjoy. And here I am just showing you the little corner of where I started, and I'm just amazed that it actually worked. I just did not believe it was going to work, but it just turned out so nice. applying some of the Waverly Antique Wax onto my sled. And once that dries, I'm also going to add some of the white chalk paint, and I'm going to give it the distressed look. And then once that's all dry, I will then take some beads that I purchased from Walmart, and then I will attach those to the top of the frame, to the top of the sled. And I will also add a messy bow, and I did purchase that ribbon from the Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's, and I also added some twine, but I did not notice that I wasn't recording at the time, so I do apologize. I didn't have footage of me making a messy bow, but you will see here in a little bit when I add it to the sled. Look at how good it came out. I think this is my favorite. Yeah, I believe this is my favorite. That is so nice. It's so pretty. I can't wait to use that with my Christmas story decorations. It is so pretty. And that is it for my Christmas in July video. My name is Tawanda, and I'm the Migraine Crafting Diva, and I thank you for watching. And please remember, be nicer and kinder. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda, and I'm the Migraine Crafting Diva. And on this channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. And today's migraine fact is about myself. The longest migraine I have ever had lasted for about 2 months. And now that I've given you that migraine fact, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's DIYs. And today's DIYs is all about Santa. So for DIY number 1, I am using this frame that I use for for fall. I'm just going to take the picture out that I used, and then I took a piece of scrapbooking paper and I printed out a picture of Santa. I just typed in free Santa printables, and I printed it out on a piece of scrapbooking paper that had music on it, and then I am just putting it into the frame. And that is it for DIY number 1. Quick, fast, easy, simple, didn't cost a thing, and I just absolutely love the way that this picture looks. For DIY number 2, I will be using this glass jar that I'll just be repurposing from some pears that I had purchased a while ago, and I gave it 3 coats of frosted glass, and then I went online and looked up free Santa printables in the kitchen, and I printed it out on a napkin. And then once I did that, I am right now just taking some water onto my finger and just kind of just tearing it out a little bit so that it just isn't straight edges, because I wanted to give like a little kind of like a torn effect when I put it onto the jar. And then once I have it torn the way I want, I'm going to take some Mod Podge, and then I'm just going to go ahead and apply a thin coat of Mod Podge to the jar and apply the picture of Santa. Now, I will say that when I did this DIY, I actually forgot to take the second ply of napkin off. So when I went back to go put the Mod Podge on after it had dried, when I went to go do the top coat, excuse me, it actually ripped the picture. So what I ended up doing was I tried to print it out again, and my printer just kept having problems printing it out again on the napkin. So I ended up just printing it out on just a piece of paper, and then I gave it a clear coat of the Rust-Oleum matte clear coat, and then I went ahead and just tore the edges up, and I just went ahead and applied it to the jar after I took all of this picture off, and they both still look the same, and they both still look nice, and you'll get to see that with the reveal. So after I put the picture of Santa onto the jar, I went ahead and just cleaned up the excess Mod Podge, and the lid I spray painted black. And then, actually no, the lid was already black. So I went ahead and replaced the lid, and the jar of pears came with this paper that was on it with like a little stretch rubber band type thing. So what I did was I basically just cut out a square, and I just used that rubber band to put back around the jar lid to just make it look like it was like a canned or jarred food. And that is it for this DIY, and I just absolutely love the way that it turned out. And you can put a candle in there, you can put fairy lights, you can put snacks, whatever you want. But yeah, so I love this DIY. So now we're going to move on to DIY number 3. And here I have everything I'm using in this DIY. I didn't really have to purchase anything for this DIY, but everything that I'm using, basically they're all ornaments except for the small tree. But the Santa Claus is an ornament, the sled, and the 2 gifts are all ornaments. The gifts came from Target. The sled, I believe, came from the Dollar Tree. I cannot remember where I got the Santa Claus from. I've had him for a while. And then I have this cloche that I purchased from Target a couple of years ago. And then I'm going to use some of this faux snow that I purchased at Hobby Lobby for 60% off. And then once I have it set up the way I want, I'm just going to go ahead and put the top back on. And then that'll be it for this DIY. And I absolutely love the way that it turned out. And I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. The jar, and then once it's dry, I'll go ahead and do a top coat. It did bleed just a little bit, even though I did give it a top coat of the Rust-Oleum clear coat, but it still ended up turning out nice. So after I did that, I went ahead and I added some more Mod Podge around the sign, and then I decided I wanted to add glitter. So I added some silver glitter and some of the white glitter, and I like the way that it turned out. I like that it just gives it just that little bit of extra touch of something that I felt it was missing. And so after I put the glitter on, I took one of the ornaments that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I had a knob, and I went ahead and I spray painted both of those black. The ornament from the Dollar Tree is the one that looks like the pie tin, and it has the snowman on it, and it says "Let It Snow." So what I did was I went ahead and took the sticker off of that, and I gave it one coat of black spray paint, and also I gave the knob one coat of black spray paint. And then I took, while it was still wet, I went ahead and I added a coat of the frosted glass to it, just to kind of give it the effect of, I wanted it to kind of blend in with the jar with the frosted look a little bit. And it actually turned out really good. I didn't think it was gonna do anything different, but it actually looks pretty good. So you'll get to see that pretty shortly here. So this is the ornament that I used, and like I said, I gave it a coat of the Rust-Oleum 2x gloss black, and there it is. You can see how what the frosted glass, how it looks with the frosted glass on it. I like the effect that it gave the ridges of it. Then I took my hot glue gun, and then I applied the lid to the inside of the ornament, and then I applied the knob to the top of it, and then I just went ahead and screwed it, twisted it back onto the jar, and that was it for this DIY. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. I would just like to say that all of these DIYs I thought turned out so good and so nice, and I just absolutely love all of them. Our last DIY number 6, which is the easiest DIY of them all. Basically, I have this Santa that I've had for about 4 or 5 years now. I purchased him at Lowe's, and I have some red ribbon, and I have this little pug here. So what I'm going to do is, Santa is holding a cup that says hot chocolate on it. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out of his hand because he hasn't actually did any animation. He hasn't worked since the first year that we had him. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the hot chocolate cup out of his hand. And then I'm going to take the red ribbon that was given to me by one of my friends. I'm not really sure where she purchased it at. And I am going to tie the ribbon around the pug's neck like he is like it's not, excuse me, like it's a leash. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie it to Santa's hand like he's walking the dog. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I'm also going to go ahead and press the button so that you can see and hear the dog, because he is animated and he does still work. So I'm going to go ahead and press that button and let you see him also. But yes, that is it for this DIY. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I probably should have put him on a flat surface instead of having him on my fireplace so that you can see him. But he's so cute. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little pug dance. And that is it for today's DIYs. I would like to thank you for watching my video. If you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye.